Before conviction came suspicion, and in Salem, suspicion from anybody was enough to warrant an arrest for witchcraft. Welcome to Salem Witch Trials Daily. I'm Josh Hutchinson.
I'm Sarah Jack. To examine what types of evidence were used in the Salem Witch Trials, let's look at the first legal action of the crisis.
Why did the magistrates issue warrants for the arrest of Tituba, Sarah Good, and Sarah Osborne on February 29, 1692?
The four men who filed the complaint must have told a good story to get the warrants issued right away. In other words, they provided eyewitness testimony to what they had observed in the afflicted girls, who at the time were Betty Paris, Abigail Williams, Ann Putnam Jr., and Elizabeth Hubbard.
After these first three witchcraft suspects were arrested, they were physically inspected for witch teats or marks. This was a key form of evidence which would go on to be used in the trials of several of the accused.
Then the three women faced a verbal examination by magistrates, which featured leading questions designed to draw out confessions. After facing a number of these questions, Tituba did confess. Her confession implicated a number of additional witches, including Sarah Good, Sarah Osborne, and 7 unidentified people. As witchcraft guilt was difficult to prove, confessions were the gold standard of evidence, proof from the witch's own mouth.
And Tituba was far from the last to confess. During the Salem witch trials, at least 54 people confessed. But contrary to belief, the confessors were not necessarily spared. Instead, they were kept alive long enough to testify against others, and then they were tried and condemned.
In September of 1692, a number of confessors were convicted at trial, including Samuel Wardwell, who was executed.
Then, in January 1693, Chief Justice William Stoughton signed death warrants for several confessors, including Elizabeth Johnson Jr., Mary Post, Sarah Wardwell, Abigail Hobbs, Abigail Faulkner, and Dorcas Hoare. They were saved only by the governor's reprieve.
Witness testimony included spectral visions and strange encounters. One early eyewitness statement was made on March 5th by William Allen, John Hughes, William Good, and Samuel Braybrook against Sarah Good, Sarah Osborne, and Tituba.
In the statement, William Allen said, "On the 1st of March at night, he heard a strange noise, not usually heard, and so continued for many times, so that he was affrighted, and coming nearer to it, he there saw a strange and unusual beast lying on the ground, so that going up to it, the said beast vanished away, and in the said place start up 2 or 3 women, and flew from me, not after the manner of other women, but swiftly vanished away out of our sight, which women we took to be Sarah Good, Sarah Osborne, and Tituba."
Spectral evidence, though controversial, was critical to convictions during the Salem witch trials.
The afflicted told many stories about attacks by the spectral forms of witches, the ghostly part that could leave the body to do the devil's bidding.
Chaining suspects in jail was said to prevent their specters from roaming, but based on testimony, was woefully ineffective.
Another form of spectral testimony involved tales of the ghosts of the dead visiting the afflicted to accuse their murderers.
In some cases, the afflicted produced artifacts from spectral assaults, such as pins and needles, a broken knife, and even a wheel band. They also showed bite marks and other wounds supposedly inflicted by witch specters.
And some of the accused were even said to have cuts in their clothing where they were wounded while in spectral form.
In addition to direct eyewitness accounts, the magistrates heard from many people whose friends or acquaintances had witnessed events, or maybe just heard something in the rumor mill. Conjecture and hearsay were rampant.
And much of the witness testimony was about old fights, ancient grudges, and long ago disputes, in which harsh words were exchanged, words which in hindsight seemed to be curses. And some of these grudges went back decades.
Tomorrow, we'll look into physical forms of evidence admitted by the courts.